You want to Google for Steamworks.net's GitHub, and then you need to log in. So you see your little name here. And then you want to fork. And I already have a fork here, but it's just easy as clicking this button here. And you get your own fork. And then you copy the link to it, like that. This is my repo for my Monogame project. It's right in here. So you want to put it somewhere close by if you need to move the projects. So let's add a folder here. Then with your favorite Git manager, I use Tortoise Git. So I make sure that your link is selected when you download the repo, and we should give it a few minutes. And there we go, I got the latest version. If they ever update the code, you just make sure to pull that as usual with Git. I have now opened my Monogame project in Visual Studio, and I go to Solution, right click, and I add an existing project, and we go to our Steamworks repo folder, and I use the standalone 2.0, and here you have the project, and I open it. And then inside your main project for your Monogame, you right click dependencies and you add the reference. Just with a click like that. Okay. After that, you need two things. The first thing is the SDI key, the software development kit from Steam, and then you need the app ID next to your exe. So first we go back to the Steamworks.net GitHub and scroll down to see the README. And here you see the version you need to download. Here on the Steam documentation, you have the list and all the versions, and the one we need is right here. I have downloaded and unzipped the SDI key. I go right here to Redist, and this is the file you copy. And here is my debug build path for my Monogame project, and here you can see my exe from the build. And I just paste the Steam API right here. And the second thing you need is an app ID text file. You just create a text file and you put your game ID right here. Very simple. Just remember that your game have to be approved by Steam before anything of this will work. I'm just shortly gonna go through some of the programming. The first thing you add is that you go into your program file, which boots up your whole Monogame project. This code you will probably recognize inside your own project. So you need a startup, which is this init, and then you need a shutdown when the program ends. And you need to make sure that Steam is running. One problem you will have later is when you build to Steam, your Steam client will stop working. But there's a simple fix where you go in and just click offline and then online again, and your Steam client should be reawakened. So now you can handle the init the way you want. If you want to lock out any players that don't properly launch your game, you can just do a quick exit here. So let's try it. And it works. One tip I have is to put an abstraction layer around everything that is Steam. So if you ever want to change platform, you can just do that with a boolean or something. So you don't use pure Steam code all through your project, but always do an abstraction layer. Once your Steam init is successful, you want to set up all your subsystems. And these are all the achievements and game stats and all that. My tip is just to start with a copy of the example from online and then add one thing at a time, and you should be good to go. Then finally, a big problem that you will meet is everything will work fine now when you're debugging, but when you're going in here and doing your build, like the .NET publish code, then you will always get an error. Here is the build error, as you can see, and when you look through it, you see that all the Steamworks.NET stuff didn't build. And the reason for that is because they don't have the release set up. The only solution I could find was to manipulate the project file. Here is my Monogame project again in the browser. I will look for the CS project file and open it with a text editor. In my case, Visual Studio Code. And the thing I need to change here is the include file for the Steamworks.NET project. I need to add this configuration here, so the release is always the same. Like this. That didn't work. I forgot to remove this one. And the second thing I had to do is edit the Steamworks project file. And I start with creating my own branch here. Here I have opened the CS project file from Steamworks.NET. And I need to add a release configuration. And what I do, I just take anything that says Windows and copy it. So I copy this one. And this one. Save. And now the project builds.